I came to the US in 2013 with $200 in a suitcase. I come from Argentina. Even though I look American and I sound American, I'm not American. In 2016, I came to the US in 2013, 2014. And in 2016, I was waiting tables in a restaurant. And that was my job. I started washing dishes at Buffalo Wild Wings, the whole trying to make it. I never wanted to really do university and all that nonsense. But I realized that United States was the land of opportunity. And it was the location that if you wanted to become something, it's where you wanted to go. So in 2013, end of it, almost 2014, I came to the United States with $200 in a suitcase. And I said, fuck it, I'm going to make it. And I was introduced to, and I was one of the first people to ever start Instagram giveaways back in 2015, 2016. We were giving away fucking Polaroids. Right now they're out here giving away Teslas. Today you would gain followers from fucking giving away Polaroids. And that's how we started making my money. At the end of 2016, I was waiting tables in a Spanish restaurant, and a guy next to me showed me for the first time ever a Tesla stock, right? He showed it to me for the first time ever. I'd never seen anything like that. I'd never bought anything that had to do with the markets. And I was making like $500 a week, nothing special. I was poor. And then he was like, well, have you heard about Bitcoin? I was like, wait, what do you mean Bitcoin? Bitcoin is sitting at about $400 at that time. So I started buying Bitcoin in 2016. And I was buying Bitcoin at $400 to $600. Every single day, what I would do was I would get those waiting tips that you're familiar with if you've hustled in the industry, and you would get those tips every single day. I would drive to Wells Fargo in my 2001 Buick that my grandmother had purchased for me that I had to pay back, and I would buy Bitcoin. And in 2017, I met somebody by the name of Steve Tan. If you guys are not familiar with Steve, he's probably one of the GOATs. I think a lot of people here have either heard of him or like the OGs like us have been either influenced by him. I'm with him right now at the Matilde Palace in Hungary. We're doing a mastermind next week in Albania. And he's like, bro, you got to do econ. He's like, you got to get into econ. And in 2017, I got into econ for the first time. I had my first six-figure day, 119K was in 2017. And then just slowly scaled e-commerce into a sustainable business. In 2019, we had our first $1 million month, which was pretty phenomenal. And then in 2020, we've had our first $1 million day in e-commerce. In 2020, it was really interesting. In 2020, because I'd done crypto in 2017, I was part of the bull run, but the mistake that I made was I didn't cash out. I listened to what everybody else said, right? I listened to the bullshit on Twitter. The young bucks listening, they went through what I just went through in 2017. They just went through it last year. And in 2020, a guy by the name of Cy Watson, if you guys are not familiar with Cy, he told me, he came over to my house and he said, Luke, I put every fucking dollar into crypto when everything was worth nothing. And I was like, fuck it. I was sitting on a couple $1 million net profit, pulled off some money from my business. So it was really, really phenomenal. And I went super heavy into something that a lot of people did not know existed at the time by the name of DeFi. And in 2020, I purchased a coin that I became famous for, which was PancakeSwap. PancakeSwap, if you guys are not familiar, was probably one of the largest unicorns to ever come out of DeFi. It ended up capping at about $2.5 billion, and I purchased it sub 30 million. I was the top 10 holder in the entire world of PancakeSwap. It's actually tatted on my neck right here because it retired me. I went all in on crypto, and then we launched a couple NFT projects, sold those out. The classic made $4 million in 30 minutes, all that nonsense, whatever. Bought Pudgy Penguins. So I'm one of the shareholders in that company. Phenomenal team. Look forward to see what they're doing. And right now, I'll just focus on two main ventures. One is private equity. So I invest in a lot of companies. So anything that has to do with e-commerce or crypto, I'm heavily invested. All on the private side. And secondly, I'm building the largest decentralized entrepreneurial network on planet Earth that launched about 2 years ago called Capital Club. We have about 7,000 members. And yeah, about 14 months ago, I retired. So right now, I've kind of spent my entire time just making content. And I was like, damn, what do I do now? And I was just like, let me just do some content. Let me get this content machine up and running and build out kind of what I want to see the entrepreneurial space turn out to be. And, we've kind of all been in the place where you kind of end up being in limbo after either making crazy money or losing crazy money or being in a situation, like the last years with crypto. And just like Sebastian will probably share in a little bit, I was like, damn, let me just focus on my personal brand. That's why a lot of people don't know my story. I've been super secretive over the last 4 years, just kind of the people that are in the game, they know me, but the newbies, the beginners, they're not very familiar. So now I'm out of e-commerce. If you guys are going to get into e-com, TikTok organic is the way. But right now, just focus on private equity and building capital clubs. So that's a little bit about me, boys.